Is free AI video generation finally here and actually amazing? Qwen Chat just launched, boasting a brand new video model that's generating serious buzz. But can it really compete with the best, like the paid powerhouse Kling 1.6? And how does it stack up against OpenAI's Sora? Today, we're diving deep into Qwen's video capabilities, throwing complex prompts at it to see if it lives up to the hype, and giving you a definitive comparison you won't want to miss. Get ready to see if this free platform is a true game changer. Kling 1.6 is currently a leading paid video generation tool. Kling is recognized as a top-tier model, generating considerable excitement in the field. We'll first assess how Kling handles complex prompts, and then turn our attention to Qwen Chat and its brand new video model, which has generated significant buzz regarding its video creation abilities. Furthermore, I will also present some comparative examples against OpenAI's Sora to give you a broader perspective. Let's take a look at the range of models currently available on the Qwen platform. According to Qwen, the Qwen 2.5 Max model stands as their most powerful language model to date. Beneath it, you'll find Qwen 2.5 Plus and Qwen 2.5 VL72, which is a 72 billion parameter model. This VL model is their vision language model, adept at analyzing images and documents for detailed descriptions and discussions. Next, we have Qwen 2.5 14 billion instruction, a 14 billion parameter model optimized for long context interactions. This model excels when dealing with extensive information or when lengthy outputs are required. Then there's QWQ 72 billion preview, a model designed for visual reasoning tasks, followed by QWQ 32 billion preview, another model focused on thinking and reasoning. As you can see, they offer a diverse selection of models. Moving on, Qwen 2.5 Coder 32 billion instruction is specifically tailored for coding-related tasks. And then there's Qwen 2.5 Turbo, designed for speed and long context, similar to Google Gemini's Flash model, combining rapid response times with the ability to handle extended inputs. Lastly, Qwen 2.5 72 billion instruction is presented as a smart large language model, which appears to be their foundational or base model. Beyond these, there's also a temporary chat feature, reminiscent of the ephemeral chat option found in ChatGPT. This allows for conversations that are not saved in your history, offering a privacy-conscious option if desired. Additionally, you'll find an artifacts feature, located within the prompt box. This feature allows you to preview codes generated by the model. Qwen also offers image generation capabilities, which we will be testing and comparing to Google's Imagen 3 model. Google currently holds the top position in image generation benchmarks, with Imagen 3 recognized as top of the line. We will assess Qwen's image generation quality against this standard. The interface itself looks promising. Similar to OpenAI, Qwen has launched video and image generation tools, their image generation platform being DALL-E 3 equivalent. They have also incorporated web search, artifacts, and other innovative features into their platform. Now let's begin testing the platform. First, we'll examine the web search functionality to assess the timeliness of its information retrieval. Let's ask, what are the latest news in the USA today? And observe how current the results are. The response is a little slow, which is likely due to the high traffic volume the site is currently experiencing. The platform has garnered significant attention rapidly, with many users testing its features, especially the appealing free image generation, free video generation, and code artifact functionalities. Here are the search results. We see headlines including ongoing coverage of Washington, D.C. plane crash involving American Airlines, and legal news about Donald Trump. It has provided 4 news items. Let's verify the date of the first article to confirm its recency. This article is indeed from today. It's providing up-to-date information without delay, which is excellent. Let's check another. The 30th of January updated. Today is January 30th, and this is indeed current information, confirming the search feature is working effectively and providing timely results. Regarding the Canvas feature, this Ask, Explain, Ask option includes the prompt box function. This is a feature similar to ChatGPT, enabling you to select text and edit it. If I select a paragraph and request it to rewrite it in detail, it expands upon the text and includes relevant links. The processing speed is currently slower due to the high user traffic I mentioned. It's also worth noting that it is Chinese New Year, and holidays are ongoing. As Qwen is a Chinese company, they may be experiencing challenges in handling the global surge in traffic. Now let's move on to video testing. For this, we will first utilize the Kling 1.6 model. As you can see, video generation is currently set to Kling 1.6. I'll be using complex prompts to test its capabilities and then compare its performance to Qwen's new video model. I've encountered some challenges and delays with Qwen's video generation, preventing me from testing as many videos as initially planned. However, I have managed to generate a few videos, and we will use these for our comparison. Let's start with this prompt. A candle flame that casts a shadow of a tree. This is the core prompt, and this is the video generated by Kling 1.6. As you can observe, the tree shadow is not present. The flame is depicted simply as a flame. The candle does cast a shadow, and in the background there is a tree-like suggestion, but it's not clearly defined. Overall, Kling 1.6 struggles to accurately interpret this prompt. Let's compare it side by side with the output from Qwen's model. Here also we see a candle, but alongside it, there's a potted plant's shadow is visible here. Both models in this instance fail to fully realize the prompt. Therefore, I would consider this test inconclusive, with neither model clearly outperforming the other in this specific example. Our next prompt is a reflection in water that shows a different scene than what's above it. This prompt is quite intricate. The reflection should depict a scene distinct from the scene above the water's surface. Let's examine how Kling handles this. As you can see, the reflection mirrors the scene above the water. The trees and buildings are replicated in the reflection. Kling fails to generate a different scene in the reflection, thus not fulfilling the prompt. Now, let's apply the same prompt to Qwen's new model and observe its performance. Here in the reflection, you can see a noticeable difference. While above the water, there appear to be grass. In the reflection, there seems to be trees. This demonstrates a degree of prompt adherence. In this instance, I would give Qwen a point, recognizing it as the better performer in this specific test. Next, consider this prompt. A person walking into a mirror and disappearing. This is a very complex prompt that challenges many video generation models. To my knowledge, no model has yet perfectly executed this. This is Kling 1.6's attempt. We see a mirror, and within the mirror, some people are walking. However, it doesn't follow the prompt of a person walking into the mirror and disappearing. Instead, it simply shows people walking within the mirror reflection. Comparing it side by side with Qwen's generation, we see a person moving towards the mirror and disappearing. However, the disappearance doesn't occur within the mirror itself, but rather before reaching it. Despite this deviation, Qwen's output is notably superior to Kling's. Qwen's video at least partially interprets the prompt, a person approaching and disappearing near the mirror. Furthermore, both the person and their reflection vanish. Therefore, in this case, I would again favor Qwen. The subsequent challenging prompt is words written in the sand being washed away by a wave, then reappearing. Let's assess Kling's interpretation. A wave arrives and words are indeed written on the sand. However, as the wave recedes, the written characters do not disappear. Kling manages the initial part of the prompt, but fails to make the words disappear and reappear. Now, let's examine Qwen's result. Here, the waves don't even reach the characters written in the sand. In the initial frame, the writing is not visible. It appears suddenly. However, the waves remain distant from the characters. Thus, Qwen also fails to fully realize this prompt. Both models struggle, but if I were to award points, I might lean towards Kling, as it at least partially addressed the prompt, though it didn't produce a video perfectly aligned with the instructions. The next complex prompt we'll examine is a cyberpunk city at night. Neon lights reflecting on the wet street as a drone scans the crowd with a red laser. This is another intricate prompt, requiring multiple elements. A cyberpunk city at night, a wet street reflecting neon lights, and a drone scanning a crowd with a red laser. Let's see how Kling performs. Yes, we see a cityscape, a city scene. People are walking on the streets, and the roads appear wet, though rain isn't explicitly depicted. A drone is present, emitting laser beams. This is Kling's rendition. Now let's compare it to Qwen's. In Qwen's video, we also see people and reflections in the water indicating wet streets. There are drones, in fact 2 drones, but the scanning laser beams are not originating from the drones. Instead, the lasers appear to emanate from a building in the foreground or elsewhere. Overall, Qwen captures many aspects of the prompt, but I believe Kling's interpretation is slightly more accurate in this instance. Kling is perhaps the winner in this round. The following challenging prompt is, a girl on a windy beach finds a message in a bottle. Her face shifts from joy to heartbreak. This is a lengthy and emotionally nuanced prompt. Let's see how Kling interprets it. This is, well, quite inadequate. Kling has completely missed the mark. A girl is present, she abruptly jumps, and then notices a bottle on the ground. That's essentially it. She doesn't open the bottle, nor do her facial expressions change. Now let's compare this to Qwen's result. This is Qwen's interpretation, where a girl is standing, finds a bottle, and her expression noticeably changes, aligning perfectly with the prompt. Observe, after reading its contents, her expression transitions from happiness to shock, then to sadness. Here, Qwen's video generation model is clearly the superior performer. The next prompt is, a glass of water tips over in slow motion, sunlight refracting through the splashes and droplets. This is another intricate prompt. Let's examine Kling's result. Kling 1.6's rendition is this. Splashes and droplets are absent. We see simple water and some light reflection, perhaps intended as sunlight reflection. But no splashing droplets are evident. Kling partially addresses the prompt, but it's not a complete or perfect realization. Let's see what Qwen produces. This is Qwen's result. Here we observe numerous splashes as the water spills. It does reflect light, but it appears to be indoor lighting, not sunlight, reflecting off the water. Qwen partially addresses the prompt, but the sunlight element is missing, replaced by indoor illumination. Therefore, I would consider both models to have fallen short in fully realizing this prompt. Another challenging prompt is, a clock in the desert melts into liquid gold as the sun moves unnaturally fast. This prompt is also known to challenge many models. Here's Kling's result. The clock melts, but instead of melting naturally, it melts upwards into the sky. Kling completely fails here. The sun in the background remains stationary, contrary to the prompt's requirement of unnaturally fast movement. Kling is a total failure in this instance. Now let's see Qwen's interpretation. This is Qwen's result. Looking at them side by side, we can see a significant degree of prompt adherence in Qwen's video. Notice the sun in the background, positioned very near, moving rapidly. The clock is melting in the desert, transforming into liquid gold, forming a golden shape. Qwen's model has effectively realized the prompt. This demonstrates a very capable model from Qwen. If it surpasses the latest Kling model, it's a very impressive achievement. The final prompt is, a pirate ship battles a storm while a parrot wearing a captain's hat squawks at the crew. Another complex prompt. Let's see how Kling performs. Here, the parrot isn't wearing a hat. Instead, it's perched on a pirate's hat and gesturing. In the background, a storm is raging, and the crew is occupied managing the storm. Due to the complexity of the prompt, Kling struggles to execute it fully. Let's see what result Qwen provides. This video, which I initially generated in 16 by 9 by mistake, and subsequently attempted to regenerate in 1 by 1, but without success, is the result. Here, the parrot is indeed wearing a hat. A storm is raging in the background environment, and pirates are visibly busy handling it, creating a chaotic scene. Compared to Kling, Qwen more accurately follows the prompt. However, the lightning in the storm seems more like a static image rather than dynamic, disappearing light. It's somewhat like an image of a storm overlaid in the background. Despite this, the prompt is otherwise well realized. Overall, I believe Qwen's model is the winner in this comparison. When it comes to handling intricate prompts, Kling has notably struggled in several instances. In contrast, Qwen's latest model, recently launched, is proving to be quite impressive. I anticipate further improvements in future updates, making it even better. It's quite remarkable that this new and free model from Qwen appears to outperform a more established and expensive paid model like Kling. This is a significant development. As promised, here are some comparison examples of Qwen versus Sora, with Qwen on the left and Sora on the right. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Personally, I find Qwen to be delivering equally impressive results, if not superior in some cases. That concludes our video generation review. Now, we will proceed to examine the image generation capabilities and other features within Qwen. As we see in the Image Arena rankings, Google Imagen 3 currently holds the top position. Specifically, Variant 002 leads with 1099 points. Recraft version 3 is second with a significant gap at 1034 points, followed by Ideogram version 2 at 1027 and Flex 1.1 Pro at 1022. Google's Imagen 3, Generation 2, is currently generating considerable buzz and is what we will be comparing against Qwen's image model to see how it measures up. Beating Google in image generation is not an easy task. If Google releases its video model, VEO2, it's likely to surpass all current models in video generation as well, but its release is still pending. Now let's assess the image model in more detail. I have prepared several prompts to compare Qwen's image generation against Google's Imagen 3 model. However, Google's image generation is known for its strict censorship. It is often difficult to use celebrity names or company names within prompts. For instance, prompts related to OpenAI may not generate images. Google's system is quite heavily censored. Within Qwen, there is a sample feature, which is useful as it provides example images along with their corresponding prompts. You can utilize these prompts to generate similar images. For example, this beautiful image is generated from the prompt Artistic Double Scene Painting, Day and Night. This one is also excellent, showcasing very high-quality image generation. The sample section offers numerous examples, and this is all within Qwen. I have several prompts prepared to test its capabilities. The first prompt is a transparent cat sitting on a glass table. This is a complex prompt, often challenging for image generation models. I will use the same prompt for Google to save time and then compare the results. It's processing, and yes, it's quite fast, generating one image. And here's the result. The cat is not transparent, it's a solid cat. The table is transparent, a glass table, but the cat remains opaque, failing to fully realize the prompt's intention. Let's see Google's output. Here are Google's results. As you can see, this is a transparent cat, and the table is glass. Google also provided additional images. The second image is not truly transparent, but gives the impression of transparency. The third image does not follow the prompt. However, one out of Google's 3 images accurately depicts a transparent cat on a glass table, adhering to the prompt. Let's try regenerating with Qwen. Perhaps if Google achieved one correct image out of 3, Qwen might also produce a successful result. Within image generation settings, you can adjust the aspect ratio here. Okay, our second image from Qwen is almost ready. Let's see if this one yields a correct result. The table's reflection is visible, but the table itself isn't entirely clear. The transparent cat, well, it is somewhat transparent. We can observe what appear to be the cat's internal organs. This is actually quite an impressive image, as it didn't simply produce a fully transparent cat, but instead showed the internal structure. Let's try one more regeneration to see if we can achieve an even better outcome. Okay, this one is fast. This is the third image, generated quickly, but it does not adhere to the prompt. Let's move on to the next prompt. Our next prompt is a dog wearing sunglasses looking sad. This is also a complex prompt, often challenging for image generation models to accurately interpret. I will use the same prompt for Google. Okay, the dog is wearing sunglasses. We have the image, and it does appear somewhat sad or at least serious. A very good result. The background is white. Ideally, there should have been something in the background, but as the prompt didn't specify a background, it can be argued that the prompt was followed. Let's examine Google's results. Google rendered the images in black and white to convey sadness, simply to create a sad aesthetic. You can see all images are black and white, even though this was not specified in the prompt. Google needs to improve in this area. Here's another attempt from Qwen. This is also a cartoonish style image, slightly unrealistic, and also requires refinement. Overall, Qwen's image generation model demonstrates good prompt following capabilities. Let's try another prompt. A cat wearing a hat, looking in a mirror. This is a complex prompt that many image generation models struggle with. Given that Google is currently a top-tier model, if it encounters difficulty with certain prompts, it indicates their complexity. Let's see what Qwen and Google generate. Both are currently processing. Okay, Qwen is taking some time. Here are Google's results. Cat wearing a hat. Okay, this is good. This cat is looking in the mirror. In this first image, the cat's reflection is visible, but the cat itself is not looking into the mirror. This is Google's first result. The second image features a black cat looking in the mirror, properly following the prompt. This image is good because the cat is looking at the reflection, yet it still appears somewhat artificial. The reflection's pose differs from the actual cat's pose. Here's another image where the cat has a hat, and the reflection in the mirror is visible. But again, the cat isn't looking in the mirror. It's looking elsewhere. Okay, here's a fourth result from Google. This one also features a hat, but as you can see, the cat isn't looking at the mirror, although the reflection is present. It's illogical. It should appear as if the real cat is looking at its reflection, which is not the case. Let's examine Qwen's results. Okay, this is a blurred image of a cat, and a mirror is positioned in front of it. The cat's legs extend beyond the mirror. Qwen has completely missed the prompt's intent here. Comparing Qwen's results with Google's images, Google is clearly superior in this instance, as its generated images are better aligned with the prompt, although still not perfect. Here's another result from Qwen. In this one, the cat is looking in a different direction, and the reflection shows a full cat outside the mirror. Qwen struggled with this prompt. These are indeed complex and tricky for image generation models. Let's try one more time to see if Qwen can improve in a third attempt. Okay, this result shows a mirror that isn't round. It's a large mirror, and the cat is looking. This is better than the previous two results. Here the cat is visible both outside and inside the mirror, but it's still not very well executed. Okay, let's proceed to our next prompt. The prompt is a one-wheeled bicycle. How an AI would depict a bicycle with a single wheel is quite a challenging prompt. I've tested this with numerous image generation models, and all have failed to produce a correct result. This is Qwen's result. It shows a two-wheeled bicycle instead of one. It has failed. Let's see what Google does. Okay, look at this. A bicycle with one wheel. It has removed the other wheel. And this image also depicts a single wheel, and there is a person riding it, although a rider wasn't specified in the prompt. This one is impressive. So this image is good. And this is a bicycle with one wheel. Again, look at this. This one is, the bicycle here has one wheel. Google is able to understand the prompt and execute it. Okay, we attempted another image generation with Qwen, but an error occurred. Let's try one more time. Google is at the top of the image arena because it accurately follows prompts and its results are generally superior to other image generation tools. See the first two results, they are not that impressive. However, the subsequent two results are very good. This one especially, and particularly this one is exceptionally good. I believe this is the perfect result for this prompt, the best result possible. Okay, we received another result from Qwen, which again shows a bicycle with two wheels. So Qwen has failed to generate this prompt correctly. Okay, for the fifth and final image prompt, let's use this one, and then we will move on to testing other tools on this platform. This fifth prompt is also complex. Let's see how it handles it. A melting clock in the style of Monet, as in Claude Monet, the painter. A melting clock in his painting style is what we aim to generate. Let's see. I've submitted the prompts to both Google and Qwen, and I believe we have a result from Qwen here. The clock is melting. It appears so, but it doesn't look very paintistic, just vaguely like a melting effect. Let's regenerate it one more time. And here we see. Painting style, we have it, okay? So this is the first melting clock generated by Google in the style of Monet. There is also a reflection at the bottom. This one is not melting, not really. In this second result, it looks slightly more melted, and it is in a painting style. The third one is also a bit better, in a Monet style of painting. And this fourth one, the result from Google, follows the prompt, depicting a melting clock in a painting style. Okay, here's another result from Qwen, and it's in a painting style, and it's okay. But it's not melting, not really melting. One more result. Okay, so we received one more result from Qwen, and it is a melting clock, but it's not distinctly in a painting style. Some parts might resemble painting style. It's acceptable, but not comparable to Google's output. However, it's still a good image generation model. I will now test the artifact feature, the one I mentioned earlier. Let's see how it works. With this feature, you input code prompts, and in the artifact section, you receive a preview of the generated code output. I will demonstrate this now. Once the code generation is complete, you will see the preview. This is the prompt I have given. Create a Python game using Pgame where the player controls a spaceship dodging asteroids. The game should feature increasing difficulty, smooth animation, and a simple UI displaying the score and lives remaining. Let's check what this complex prompt produces. As you can see, we have the code, and the artifacts are also visible up here. The score is running, and here are lives. See, these are the lives. I will check if the controls are functional. See, the controls are working, and the game is operational. We can dodge the asteroids. The score is increasing correctly, and lives are remaining. Let's see if I get hit. A life should decrease. See, I've been hit, and the life count has decreased. Perfectly coded. This is an amazing feature. Now let's provide another code prompt. So the next prompt, we will create a website. And the prompt is, generate a responsive e-commerce website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It should include a dynamic product catalog, a search bar, a shopping cart with local storage, and a checkout page with form validation. This is quite a complex prompt. The website needs to include a product catalog, search bar, shopping cart, local storage functionality, and a checkout process with form validation. Let's see how Qwen manages this. Okay, the code is ready. This is our website. It displays My e-commerce store. Here is a search box in which you can search. Let's search for laptop, smartphone. Let's search smart, smartphone. And smartphone results appear. So it's functional. On the right side, there is a cart, currently empty. If I add an item to the cart, an item is added, and clicking on the cart reveals checkout and close options. One item priced at 500, let's proceed to checkout. And here, the checkout form appears. It includes fields for full name, email address, shipping address, and a place order option. It's working. It has generated functional code. The artifacts feature is indeed amazing. You can preview the output of any code you run here. Overall, my review of Qwen is very positive. It's a strong option. While ChatGPT charges $20 monthly, Qwen provides these capabilities for free. And the video generation, well, as we've seen, it's surprisingly competitive, even outperforming established paid models in certain complex tasks. When you factor in the impressive image generation, the useful artifact feature for coding, and the fact that all of this is currently accessible without any subscription fee, Qwen Chat presents itself as a truly compelling platform. It's definitely worth exploring and testing for yourself, especially if you're interested in cutting-edge AI capabilities without the hefty price tag. This launch from Qwen is certainly making waves, and I'm excited to see how it continues to develop and challenge the current leaders in the AI space.